Hello, welcome. Welcome to the 2023 Justice Accelerator Demo Day. My name is Iran Huffels, and I am the Program Manager at the HiiL Justice Accelerator. It is my pleasure to be your host today. First, for the opening remarks, we go to Ronald Lenz, the Director of the Accelerator.
Dear changemakers, dear innovators, a very warm welcome to the 2023 Demo Day of HiiL's Justice Accelerator, this year from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm honored to welcome you at our annual event in which we showcase our cohort of game-changing justice startups. At the Hague Institute for Innovation of Law, we're dedicated to a new paradigm shift in justice, people-centered justice. The people-centered justice approach is our best shot to closing the justice gap, an approach that is as simple and logical as it is difficult. Redesign justice systems around the needs and experiences of people and the outcomes they need. 5 components must be integrated into a program or a strategy to achieve this. These are data on justice needs, evidence-based working, innovation, an enabling environment, and building a movement to keep this all going. Data is the crucial starting point. Knowing what the most prevalent and serious justice problems are, who has them, what their journey to justice looks like, the rate at which problems are prevented or resolved and outcomes achieved, and the impact all of this has on people, communities, and the economy. Evidence-based practice is the second element. What works best to resolve land problems, for instance, or employment disputes, or to ensure that a forced court decision is only used when there are no other options. The third element is innovation, getting user-friendly justice services that work best to as many people as possible when they need it based on sustainable funding models. Traditional courts and law firms continue to be important as delivery models, but not sufficient. And this is where our Justice Accelerator comes in. Fourth, we need an enabling environment. So without this, change will be limited, not attract enough funding, and certainly not scale. This is perhaps the most underestimated element of people-centered justice. Those investing political or real capital need to know that a game-changing innovation that they back will not stay a small pilot forever because of rigid procurement rules or the inability to conclude public-private partnerships, or the risk of a violation of the rules that govern courts and legal services. And finally, we need to build a movement to sustain the change. Today here at Demo Day, we zoom in on innovation. People-centered justice needs innovation from new, non-traditional players to deliver scalable breakthrough services that help people with their everyday justice problems. Startups are ideally positioned for this. They are fast, they're agile, they're focused on delivering direct value to people, creative, tech-driven, and have the intrinsic drive to make it. Startups can cater to the huge demand for justice people have, and can be a strong innovation partner as well for the formal justice sector. So together they can move the needle towards more people-centered justice. And for that reason, HiiL provides support to justice startups. From hackathons and incubation programs in Tunisia, Nigeria, and Kenya to inspire young entrepreneurs, to our Justice Accelerator for proven startups with serious traction, to now even an impact fund, the Innovating Justice Fund, with investment readiness support for scale-ups. We are proud to share that our Justice Accelerator has already supported more than 150 startups across Africa and the Middle East with seed funding, training, coaching, and mentorship. So here we are today. I'm incredibly humbled to have you all here and to present to you our latest cohort of justice startups. Now, without further ado, let me hand it over to my colleague Iran.
Today we conclude the 2022 Innovating Justice Challenge, which was launched at last year's Demo Day. Here we are a year later for the moment where our current cohort of startups give you a glimpse into what they do, what they have achieved so far, and where they want to go. At the Accelerator, we primarily focus on Africa. According to Britter, African startups raised a total of $5.4 billion in funding last year, an increase from $4.2 billion in 2021. The startups you meet today come from Africa's top markets of Nigeria and Kenya, as well as those more nascent markets of Rwanda and Tunisia. To spice things up, we have a startup from Lebanon in the mix as well. We didn't start our programs in these countries because of the business opportunity, but first and foremost because we realized there were justice problems that could be prevented or resolved in people-centered ways, and that there were innovative problem solvers who knew what needed to be done. The entrepreneurs you meet today are the innovative, brave, hardworking, and inspiring people who have taken up the challenge of solving justice problems that many shy away from. We are honored to have each and every one of them in our cohort and cannot wait for you to get to know them, their teams, and what they do. Today, a jury of 3 will recognize the top 3 winners of the 2023 Innovating Justice Award. Let me introduce you to the jury members. I want to introduce you to Jackie Noctical. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Jackie is a qualified futurist and lawyer who works with complex systems, regenerative futures, trans-contextual data, and inclusive justice models. She's coming to us from Cape Town today. Jackie is the head of Law for All, a legal service provider working towards justice inclusion. Law for All is an award-winning social impact company. Let's go to another jury member. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Duncan Onyango in beautiful Nairobi. Hi, Duncan.
Hi.
Duncan has almost 30 years of experience in leading large-scale investment and SME support and infrastructure projects across East Africa. Duncan is the executive chairman of Kenya Innovative Finance Facility for Water, and amongst other roles, serves as the board director at the Africa Enterprise Challenge Fund. And last but not least, let's go to Zurich to meet Joseph Naayem. Throughout his career, Joseph has been at the intersection of innovative and sustainable investing. Currently, he is the managing partner of Calmus Capital, a sustainable finance advisory focused on helping investors integrate sustainability into their fund investment strategies. The judges select the startups based on different criteria: their team, their impact in terms of how well they are solving people's problems, how many people they've reached with their solution, what sets them apart from their competitors, and what the potential for growth and scaling of their impact is. The judges will also look at how the startup ensures financial sustainability, their revenue and potential for its growth, as well as how they're able to reach their customers and keep them happy. The top 3 winners will also be awarded a cash prize of 20,000, 10,000 and 5,000 euros respectively. At the end of the demo day, we will come together for the announcement of the winners. Stay tuned. Let's get a glimpse into the innovators that we are meeting today and hear the messages from their coaches who have been supporting and challenging them throughout the program.
Coaching is one of the pivotal components of the HiiL Justice Accelerator program. As a coach, I act as a sounding board for founders to work through the emergent problems, generate viable options, and arrive at a workable solution. Beyond the business aha moments, coaching enables founders to stretch and grow their leadership skills and become confident in their ability to solve problems.
My name is Bamdele Obendi. I'm filming from Lagos, Nigeria. Time spent with HiiL has been awesome, it's been educative, and it's been a rich learning experience.
Throughout last year, I had the privilege of working with 3 amazing startups that are solving justice issues around compliance for SMEs, financial inclusion for people, and the prevention of internet fraud. As a coach, it was my joy to work with these founders in building their businesses and reaching their milestones. I've seen them grow, overcome obstacles, and achieve success. I'm extremely proud of what we accomplished in the past year and excited to see what we accomplish in the future.
My name is Pascal Dahrouj. I am the founder and CEO of WillMind, and I am from Lebanon. What I have learned in the past few months is much more than the past 3 years. The quality of the presentation, the sincerity of the mentors, the diversity of the topics, the conversation, the follow-ups, the feedbacks, and the coaching and support helped us evaluate and validate any assumption we made, which is of paramount importance for building a strong foundation for any business.
These startups are helping bridge the justice gap in East Africa. Their work and passion is embodiment of the spirit of Ubuntu, where local leaders, collaborating with their communities, create pathways for people-centered, user-friendly justice. It has been a pleasure to work with them on this journey this year, and I would like to cheer to their continued success and wish them the very best as they grow and scale.
Our program also includes a series of workshops on a variety of topics, from impact measurement to financial modeling. I want to invite you to meet a couple of our trainers. Vanjiro Gatanga is a brand strategy specialist from Brand the Change here in Nairobi. Georg Kuttner is a pitch trainer based in Vienna. Our trainers have a message for the founders pitching today.
You have the unique opportunity to revolutionize the way we do things in the world. As a social justice entrepreneur, you hold the solutions to the change we so desperately need in our societies today through your products, services, and ideas for change. To be successful in this journey, it will be crucial for you to bring people on board. Your ability to brand yourself as a change maker and articulate your vision for the future will propel you forward. Your ability to bring people along your journey and your story will ensure that those who matter support you, and the people you're looking to serve understand who you are, what you do, and how you can change their lives. It's not enough to build change. I encourage you to brand it well too.
Hello there, startups, founders, game changers. It's your pitch coach, Georg, and I want to congratulate you on making it to the finish line of this program. It was an honor to work with you, and I was amazed to see your passion and especially your growth. But I have a little secret to tell you. This is not the ending. This is just the beginning. No matter what happens, if you win some prize money or get an investment, in the end, that's not really important, because real success is defined by the market, by your happy customers. So go out there, continue to work on your amazing products, make an impact, and change the world.
Now let's talk about what we can expect in the next 1.5 hours. First, be ready to be inspired. There will be 12 pitches, each 90 seconds, followed by Q&A from the judges. And before we go to the pitches, which I know you're all very excited to get to, let me tell you about how you can actively engage with this event. If you're joining us on YouTube, please feel free to add your comments and questions on the comment section, where we look forward to interacting with you. On our website, where you're watching the streaming, you'll find additional information about each startup, links to their website, and contact information. Please feel free to reach out to the startups directly. Perhaps you would like to talk to them about an investment opportunity, a collaboration, partnership, or using their service. Those of you who have registered for the event can find their one-pager executive summaries in your email. We're going to start the pitches in East Africa, where in 2022 we ran our programs, including ideation and incubation in Rwanda, Somalia, and Kenya via the Innovation Hub in Nairobi. Let's go to Eric Mwangi Kariuki, the head of HiiL's Innovation Hub in Nairobi.
Our mission at the HiiL Innovation Hub in East Africa is to find, fund, and support innovative game changers that are helping to prevent or resolve pressing justice problems for more than 15 million East Africans. For the last 7 years, we have supported more than 50 game changers in the region. In 2022 alone, we supported 43 teams through our ideation program. We also incubated 21 startups through the Justice Entrepreneurship School and further accelerated 6 startups through the HiiL Justice Accelerator program. These amazing startups have developed impactful solutions that are helping to meet the everyday justice needs of ordinary people and SMEs in Kenya, Rwanda, Somalia, and Somaliland. Apart from the programs we ran, we engaged the broader entrepreneurship and justice ecosystem, working with various stakeholders around the startup bill in Kenya, hosting amazing conversations through our Twitter spaces and events, and collaborated with incredible partners such as YGAP and Kituo cha Sheria in Kenya and Haguruka in Rwanda. As we kick off our 2023 activities, we invite any entrepreneur who is solving or interested in solving justice problems to apply for our various programs. And if you're a partner who would like to support our justice work, you can reach out to me at eric.karaoke@hiil.org. Thank you.
In 2022, East Africa was the second most attractive region in terms of funding on the continent. It attracted $1.2 billion USD. That's according to the Britter report. A big portion of the funding goes to Kenya. Kenya is, of course, recognized as one of the innovation tech hubs across Africa. Kenya has been the entry point for many Africans and non-Africans who want to expand their network across the continent. There has been large efforts made by those in the startup ecosystem to pass the Startup Act. Unfortunately, with the end of the last legislative term, the process has slowed down. But we're hopeful that a Startup Act that would bring new opportunities to foster a thriving startup ecosystem in Kenya, the region, and across Africa will be materialized soon. In the meantime, when it comes to justice needs, HiiL conducted a justice and satisfaction survey in 2017 to investigate the justice needs of people in Kenya. And we learned that 65% of people experienced legal problems. 81% took some action to resolve it, whereas only 46% partially or completely resolved their issues. We're going to hear from 4 startups from Kenya who address these problems. First is Legal Point Services, which is tackling the justice gap through facilitating access to lawyers. Legal Point Services isn't just another marketplace, but by optimizing and saving costs for lawyers, it brings down lawyer fees and makes the service more affordable. Let's hear from Nelson Kari, the CEO in Nairobi.
More than 60% of Kenyans have encountered a legal problem at least once. About half of them do not get a resolution because of challenges in accessing legal counsel and affording legal fees. This is a problem because a large number of people are therefore unable to access justice. We have created Legal Point Services to address this problem. It is a web-based application that connects anyone in need of legal services to verified lawyers who can provide legal assistance to them. A person simply creates an account and makes a request to a lawyer. Once both parties have agreed to proceed, the lawyer makes use of our virtual working space to provide the necessary assistance. Since launch, over 500 Kenyans have received assistance in over 1,000 legal matters that have been handled through our platform. In 2022, the size of the African legal market was about $120 billion US, and we are targeting a future market share of 15% of this. What sets us apart is that we provide an easy, convenient, and cost-efficient way for anyone in need of legal services to get access to them. Our business model consists of monthly subscriptions for lawyers and SMEs, as well as commissions charged on every legal service handled through our platform. Our team consists of 7 permanent employees with diverse skill sets in the fields of law, software engineering, and business development. Our next steps are to expand our operations in Kenya and into Uganda, and to onboard more partners that offer services that complement the legal sector. What we are asking for is $200,000 US to help us complete these next steps.
For the advocates that join your what do you call it, like a panel of sorts that they join, that subscribe to you, what additional services do they get? They obviously get the connection with possible clients, but I see you offering some other services to them as well, some documents automation. Is it a practice manager, or is it just a few features that they are able to use on the platform?
So it's a practice manager and so much more. So beyond practice management, we try to be on the leading edge of innovation in legal technology. So we make it such that the efficiency is 50% more than anyone who's not using legal technology tools. But what I mean is our data shows that lawyers who work through our platform are able to handle twice as much work in a day than lawyers who do not make use of any like practice management tools or any further advanced tools that we provide through our platform. So it goes beyond simple practice management like diarizing and managing files. We do offer services such as document automation. We provide them with virtual assistants who are able to talk to their clients. These are bots that are able to talk to clients in case they are not currently available and online when a client is requesting for a service, and so much more.
Okay. And how many attorneys do you currently have on your system?
We have 88 attorneys.
88. Okay.
Yes.
Hi, Nelson. 15% market share is a pretty ambitious target. I like the website and the approach so far, but to have that kind of a market share, it'd be good to get an idea of what you think the barrier to entry for someone else not doing this bigger, faster, with more resources, and where you feel the USP is and moat that makes this difficult to replicate to be able to command such a big market share.
I'm not sure I got the last bit of your question from.
What is the barrier to entry? What is your barrier to entry? So what is your unique selling point? Because a lot of it seems like someone else can do the same thing. It's a big market, but 15% is a big market share, so there must be some barrier to entry.
Yes, I think it's the way we approach this idea of what legal services should be, because what we have seen so far is that there's been a lot of resistance from our market for change and adaptation. By change and adaptation, I mean the way that we do business as lawyers, for example. Even in our local markets, we still have a lot of insistence on physical working and the traditional methods of practice that we are used to. And so why we've been so ambitious is that we feel that this new way offers convenience, which is a very big thing for clients nowadays. We've seen the way the markets are changing, especially with things such as e-commerce. Clients are more and more often prioritizing convenience and ease of use as opposed to the traditional ways of doing business. So by taking advantage of this shift in the market towards, in the client base towards ease of use and convenience, and it's something that traditional legal practice is not taking advantage of, we feel that it's an advantage for us that we can capitalize on to perhaps get close to that 15% that we are targeting. And we are not only limiting ourselves to expansion in Kenya. We are hoping that within the next 5 years, we are going to have a presence in all the major regions of Africa, that is East, Southern, Central, and Western. And that is why we have such an ambitious target for 15%.
In Kenya, rent payment collection raises a lot of justice issues for either party involved, the tenant and the property owner. Beyond the dispute itself, other issues such as unlawful cutting off of utilities by the property owner and vengeful damage to property by the tenants arise. The disputes between tenants and property owners around rent payment are in fact the biggest one in the Kenyan tribunals. In 2021, the government set up 2 specific tribunals to address this very issue. Solutions provided by 2 upcoming startups, Nyumbani Online and Silku, prevent disputes between tenants and property owners. Their solution ensures transparency, prevents fraud and disputes between the 2 parties. Let's go first to Muirutsi Sami, the CEO of Nyumbani Online.
Mr. Njoroge is an 80-year-old landlord owning 120 units. He manually manages his records, exposing him to the risk of rent fraud and inability to track and manage his lease agreements. There are over 4 million property owners just like Mr. Njoroge with this similar problem. That is why we at Nyumbani Online have developed a solution to help them. As a tenant, you simply get on your phone, make payments as per the rent invoice SMS, while the landlord has access to an array of functions and reports, including money in the bank statement, at the click of a button. Since we began 1 year ago, we have been able to onboard 650 tenants, stopped 2,000 rent fraud cases at its tracks, and transacted over 10 million Kenya shillings. With our team of 6 highly experienced individuals, we are planning on rolling out into the major cities of Kenya and Tanzania. We generate revenue by collecting a 3% commission on rent paid. We are seeking 50,000 euros in order to expand into a credit facility that will be exposed to their tenants.
Tell me a little bit about the AI tool that you said you are rolling out, which is going to, is it for the tenants specifically, if I understand? If I heard?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the main issue that we realized was tenants have a problem with paying rent. And from the from the research that we carried out, they fall short by 5,000 Kenya shillings, 10,000 Kenya shillings, just a small amount. So we thought of building an AI component that can do background checks, check if they are credit worthy. So end of day, when we give them the credit facility, we know how much we can give them so that we don't give them excess and how much they're asking. So when they ask for the credit facility, it goes through the AI component. Immediately it's approved. The money is sent to the landlord.
Sami,
Yes.
maybe just to build up on Jackie. I mean, on a typical month, maybe I just want to get a flavor. So you've got about 650 tenants. Of those, how many of them borrow, or maybe take an advance to be able to pay their rent, and then, how much do you charge, for that facility?
So the facility is still in the works. We've not completed it. Okay. And hence we are trying to get partners who will give us a good facility to work with the tenants. But from the research that we've carried out, close to half don't get their amounts by end month. And this is based on the data that we've seen on the system. You get somebody paying half of it now, then additionally a quarter just before the end month, and then the rest of them amount after the month has skipped.
Nyumbani Online's strategy directly targets the tenants. Now we go to Silku, which targets the property owners. Here is Bramwell Kipkoskei, the Chief Marketing and Strategy Officer at Silku.
Let me tell you my story. 2 years ago, my friend and I moved into 2 apartments and proceeded to make rent payments to the managing agent. But unfortunately for Joe, my 60-year-old landlord, he's never received a single cent as rent. You see, Joe is not just an isolated case. We have over 2,500 cases currently in the Kenyan courts of rental fraud and conflicts. And this is because they use manual bookkeeping and very complicated softwares that leave them exposed to rental fraud and conflicts. So here's where we come in. We've come up with an innovation that leverages technology to fully automate end-to-end property management processes that makes sure Joe and the 4.6 million landlords in Kenya never miss rent payments again. And here's how it works. They get structured property reports, real-time payment alerts, accounts reconciliation, and a streamlined tenant communication channel. The current total addressable market is about 2.1 billion, and we only take 3% of the total rent collected, with a competitive advantage of being fully automated, transparent, and very reliable. We have onboarded over 2,500 users in both Kenya and South Africa, And this is why today I seek to raise 500,000 euros to create market dominance in Africa, marketing, key partnerships, and key hires. Leading a team of 10 software engineers and competent real estate professionals, I am Bramwell with Silco, and with your help, we can transform this industry.
I mean, the market that you're in is a very dysfunctional market, especially here in Kenya. I don't know, maybe in other parts of the world it's a lot more structured. There's also a perverse, I don't know whether it's a perverse incentive for landlords to not actually want to disclose rental incomes for tax purposes. And government has actually had serious problems trying to now go through tenants. And so I'm wondering to what extent the dysfunctionality of the market, the perverseness of some of the players that you're targeting, especially landlords, will actually limit the growth of your business. Is that something that you see as a risk, or is it something that you've actually examined or factored in? And if so, how are you thinking about it?
Well, I'm also joined on the call with my co-founder, is Ronald. So maybe he might also need to chip in a few, just in case. All right.
Hi, Ronald.
Hi. Great. So allow me to just comment on the dysfunctionality of the whole property management processes. And initially we thought this is a Kenyan problem, but it turned out to be actually a global, not just an African problem. One of the key issues that they are facing is the fraud in terms of rent payment and also structured records. And of course, we are not coming in to take away their tax obligation with the government, which also is a mandate to the property owners. And that will make sure that they understand very clearly in terms of the paperwork that they sign. However, how we are presenting ours as a tech platform is to actually streamline not just the rental collection and payments, but most importantly, even the account reconciliation. So as a service provider, as a software service provider, our aim is just to streamline and automate all these processes using technology. But the mandate of remitting taxes still goes back to the landlord. Because at the end of the day, when they're remitting taxes, they need structured reports in terms of financials. And without that, then it becomes even more complicated for them to actually verify that the income that they got from the rental property is what they're actually filing back. So we are assisting that in terms of giving them the structured report so that they can now proceed and file taxes based on the income, only on the rental income, not cumulative on the accounts as well.
Bramwell, where's the scalability coming from? 3% on rent, which is not one. There's a limit to how much revenue that can represent. Yeah. Whereas there's an unlimited amount of time, resources, and costs when it comes to investigations on what is designed to be more and more complex. So, as with viruses, the more you address them, the more complicated and resilient they become. So, how do you? Where's the scalability on that time management?
I mean, initially when we started this, we thought we were just addressing a local target audience for Kenyan landlords only. But we've actually received inquiries from as far as South Africa that has enabled us to set up as well. So most of these problems that we're tackling, is spread across, Africa and globally. There's even a whole documentary of how tenants are fleecing landlords and, the same practices, basically. So ours is more of making sure that this technology can be accessed anywhere, anytime, because it's actually cloud-based, which means that it's not specific to a geographical location. However, we are also making sure that at least by the time we get to scaling to these different markets, then at least now even the software in itself is easy to use for any landlord anywhere in the world to be able to actually onboard, self-onboard, not necessarily require our team, but we are always on standby.
In Kenya, working in someone's home, helping with cleaning, laundry, and cooking often presents justice issues for both the domestic worker as well as the employer. Sometimes the domestic worker's identity isn't verified. They could be underage or have a criminal record. On the side of the domestic workers, they might experience harassment or violence on the job. This is where Mama Fua comes in.
Do you have a house help? Mama Fua is what's convenient for 83% of the Kenyan urban populace. A cleaning lady beyond the Mama Fua app structure is a possible victim of sexual assault, unjust pay, and minimal access to jobs. An $8.1 billion industry in Kenya alone, and domestic work being the biggest employer of the African women, Mama Fua app seeks to professionalize this through training that yields respectable employability through an app that links them to households with benefits of just pay and an upskilling that dignifies both the work and the worker. 4,000 women are already trained across Nairobi and Eldoret, earning between $10 to $20 a day, with competition of laundromats, cleaning companies, and bureaus, all of which are either inaccessible, expensive, and using unskilled workers. This is the reason as to why Mama Fua perfectly mends the justice gap, and hence the reason we ask for $50,000 in order to carry out marketing campaigns that would yield more jobs for the women and awareness for our products. My name is Stephen Guta from Kenya.
The revenue model, could you describe how it works, what the rates are?
The revenue model. So we have a 20-80% sharing ratio, whereby from every job done, we get a percentage of 20% of the revenue. The Mama Fua or the housekeeper gets 80%.
You said something at the beginning about you also train the women before you onboard them onto your system. What
Yes.
type of training do you give them?
So training spans, let's say, like, everything that has to do with laundry, when it comes to like sorting clothes in terms of the ones that shared, the ones that don't share, and garment care, cleaning the house, and then now we also get to give them GBV awareness, given the fact that, because some of them don't even know where the line is drawn at exactly. But besides that, we also train them. We give them a bit of financial literacy, because these are the reality out there is that they live from hand to mouth, and what we do is to actually tell them to use a bit and also save a bit and have their money go through the bank so it can build a financial character for them, and that translates to access to finance with the banks in the future. So we do that, but as we speak, there's a training that's actually going on that has 50 teenage mothers of legal age, and by that I mean above 18, who are being trained to actually function as caregivers, because that's a gap that's actually existent in Kenya. So when we are talking home care, when we are talking of the care economy, that's actually wrapped within. So what we are actually doing is to actually broaden the base such that they can actually have access to more jobs, because conventionally a Mama Fua would actually just clean a house, but if she can also clean Airbnbs and cook for them and all that, yes.
And that's a wrap for Kenya. We go next door to Rwanda. Rwanda is known for presenting some of the best opportunities for business on the continent. On the policy side, there is a lot of awareness about the important role the startups play in economic growth. You've probably heard that it can only take 1 day to register a business in Rwanda. Many founders targeting the African market have taken advantage of the entrepreneurship visa and have made Rwanda their home. As we speak, there is an effort toward passing a Startup Act. Though Rwanda's market is small, its population is only 13 million, there is great potential in Rwanda becoming another thriving innovation hub on the continent. Rwanda doesn't present a large market, so from the start, many Rwandan founders think beyond Rwanda and focus regionally and across the continent. Our next startup, eArbitrator, is a great example. eArbitrator, founded by Angelo Quelli, who you will meet shortly, handles disputes when it comes to cross-border trade.
Did you know that there are more than 11,000 pending commercial cases in East Africa alone? These cases go unresolved because of the insufficient number of judges to hear them. Commercial cases also tend to be more complicated, and they have the lowest case closure rate when compared to criminal or family cases. Resolving commercial disputes is critical to enhancing economic growth, promoting secure property rights, and more importantly, increasing access to credit. I have personally experienced what it is like when a court case drags on for years. It is a very frustrating process. My name is Angelo Quelli. I'm the founder of eArbitrator, an online digital platform where businesses, organizations, and individuals anywhere in Africa can find an arbitrator, submit their case, and have their issue resolved. Since we started in 2021, I have led a team of 4 full-time staff members, and we have onboarded over 165 dispute resolution specialists covering more than 30 areas of expertise. On average, it takes us 6 weeks to resolve a dispute, compared to the 2-year average it takes to resolve these issues in court. Resolving a case using eArbitrator also costs a business less than half what it would cost in court. We charge both parties a flat rate for the service. We are seeking a $50,000 investment that will go into helping us expand into West and Central Africa. We want to drive more sales through marketing, product development, and the hiring of additional case managers in that region.
I have some questions regarding your fee structure. You say you charge a flat rate for both parties. Is that for both parties to do the dispute, I assume?
Yes, yes. You can share that.
Is that where you get your revenue from, or do the arbitrators also pay a platform fee or a registration fee?
No, the arbitrators don't pay anything. They actually receive a percentage of the amount in dispute.
Okay. And Angelo, do you offer any ODR services, or is it simply a platform to connect parties to arbitrators?
So we connect the SMEs to the arbitrators, but the arbitrators themselves, we negotiate with them. We negotiate a price. And what we have done is we have partnered with trade organizations. They're the ones who give us the business. So we negotiate a rate with them.
Okay, but you don't offer any online dispute services. Do you have any plans to scale it out to?
Oh yes, we do. It's all online. It's eArbitrator is an online dispute resolution platform. So we have the case management platform. We have the video conferencing, the calendar. It's an all-in-one package.
I see. Okay.
Yes. It's an all-in-one package, and we actually, since all the cases are recorded, what we do is we transcribe the recording. We transcribe the case, and then it's printed for them to refer back to.
And the advances that we've seen in AI usable innovation that are accessible now, are you integrating or planning on making increased?
Actually, it's great that you just this week, what we have done is, I'm sure what ChatGPT is able to do.
Amongst others, yes.
Yeah. So what we're able to do with it is that when we transcribe the entire case, ChatGPT can actually help us summarize the entire thing. And that's why we're able to even cut. We're anticipating that we'll be able to reduce the time. So yeah, and we'll actually also have a Microsoft Word plugin that we're adding to help lawyers like draft contracts, to help SMEs draft contracts. And so it's going to be very interesting what AI is going to do.
Who is your competitor in this field?
So within, let's say you're in Kenya, you're going to go to maybe the Nairobi International Arbitration Center. If you're in Kigali, you're going to go to. So there's nobody really doing it for cross-border traders. There's nobody really. Because let's say I'm in Rwanda and I have an issue with somebody in Kenya. Means, do I have to go to Kenya to do this? So there's no competition, because many of these cases, people just give up. They say, you know what, I've lost. And so there's not really much competition in terms of cross-border traders or people who are businesses based in different countries. But if there are businesses that are based in the same country, then the national arbitration centers would be the competition. But in terms of cross-border, there's no competition.
Our next founder, also called Angelo Igitego, is the CEO and CTO of Zana Health. Angelo is deeply motivated by his personal experiences with access to health records and insurance claims and information. Insurance fraud is a well-known issue across the continent. Often because of the risk of fraud, insurance companies raise the premium, which in turn makes access to healthcare limited. As such, the impact of Zana Health solution goes beyond preventing or detecting fraud and to increased access to health services. Zana Health is a great example of showing how, in addressing justice issues, many other issues are prevented or resolved.
Did you know that up to 20% of healthcare spending in East Africa is lost through fraud? For Rwanda alone, this means $140 million every year. This injustice does not only affect insurance firms, but it also affects hospitals and it trickles down to patients as well. Zana Health is changing that. And how are we doing that? Zana Health is a software for patient management which is used by hospitals. And as the hospital use the software, insurers can access automatically the medical insurance data. For now, we have been working with one insurance company in Rwanda and a dozen of hospitals. To be able to reach our next milestone, which is 100 clinics and 3 more health insurers, we need your help. An investment of $250,000 would help us achieve just that.
You've got clinics and you've got health, you've got insurance.
Yes.
So what does Zana Health do for those two? Just very simply.
So Zana Health is pretty much an electronic patient file, which replaces the traditional or paper-based patient file. And it is essentially, the backbone is a relational database and a front end that doctors, nurses, and cashiers use to basically interact with patient data. And during the patient care journey, instead of waiting for at the end of the month to send handwritten invoices to insurers, instead the insurer can get access automatically from the electronic medical records, and they access data in real time.
Can you talk about your revenue model, please?
Our revenue model is it's a SaaS product. Basically, we charge a monthly subscription. That's on the part of the healthcare providers. And on the side of the insurers, we take a commission, basically up to 2.5% for all the amount that we process for the insurers.
How does this help you eliminate insurance fraud?
So insurance fraud comes from two sides. Number one, when it is paper-based, a clinician or a hospital can charge things first. For example, they can charge something on a patient's invoice without that patient even being present. But when you digitalize that, it's easy to authenticate, and the patient can also confirm that they've been at the clinic. A second point of weakness is that a patient can have multiple services, or they can have multiple visits, while actually they are not the primary recipient of the care, but they are maybe helping their friend get treatment. So the insurer, when we digitize that, the insurer can see that there are some abnormalities. For example, somebody has had, let's say, 2 antibiotics in one day, and that shouldn't be happening. So automatically, all of those things are detected, and the insurer can be more effective and efficient in managing the insurance claims.
We all know what an important role mentors play in helping founders and startups. At HiiL, we are lucky to have a committed group of volunteer mentors who support our startups throughout the program. Mercy Vanjiru Kamande is one of them. She helps our startups with marketing. Before we return to the pitches, let's hear a few words from Vanjiru.
It has been an amazing 6 months working as a mentor under the HiiL Justice Program, quite rewarding and seamless. 3 things made my engagement a success. Firstly, the dedicated support team from HiiL, thanks to Eric and Salam. Secondly, the dedication and hard work that the mentees brought into the engagement. Thirdly, the Accelerator app, which was a good platform to create accountability and track progress between myself, the mentees, and the HiiL program. My scope with my mentees had us build a marketing strategy that enabled them to attract the right clientele, develop a clear brand, and refine their communications. To my mentees, I wish you success. You have an innovative solution in the legal space in Kenya. To all the mentees under this program, may you stick to your core vision and have your value pillars constant. And may you all be role models in Kenya and other developing nations globally in this legal space. All the best.
And with that, we move to another country, Tunisia. Here is Nada Zafran, Project Officer of HiiL's Innovation Hub in Tunis.
Our goal at the HiiL Innovation Hub in Mana is to introduce an innovative justice approach based on human-centered design by providing justice experts and professionals with guidelines and best practices, by gathering realistic data through our Justice Needs Survey, the JNS, by establishing an effective and efficient stakeholder dialogue, as well as initiating a vibrant and active community of legal tech startups aspiring every day to make justice more accessible and user-friendly. Since 2019, we have united more than 30 startups and innovators from Tunisia, Morocco, Lebanon, and Palestine, while supporting them in their acceleration stage. During this past year, we have introduced our incubation program in its first cohort in Tunisia, which gathered more than 7 startups in the legal tech sector. As we go into 2023, we invite you to come aboard and join our Justice Ideation, Incubation, Acceleration program to contribute towards making justice more accessible and user-friendly. Follow our social media channels on Facebook and Instagram to stay up to date and informed about how we are shaping the justice sector. For more information, do not hesitate to contact Just Innovate Mana at HiiL.org.
The hub in Tunis covers the region of North Africa and the Levant. This is the 3rd cohort from Tunisia. We're still relatively new there, but we see great potential in the country. In 2018, through an incredible grassroots movement, the country got a one-of-a-kind, first in Africa Startup Act. Almost 5 years on, we've seen success stories and incredible Tunisian founders. While access to funding still remains a major barrier, Tunisia, based on its geography alone, has the ability to reach markets in the rest of Africa, Europe, and Southwest Asia. There is a role for everyone to play, particularly for the Tunisian private sector, to step in and support founders in terms of funding, mentorship, and access to resources. According to the HiiL Justice and Satisfaction Survey in Tunisia from 2016, 41% of people experience legal problems. 71% took some action to resolve it, but only 22% partially or completely resolved the issue. In Tunisia, access to public services is the 2nd most serious justice problem. Idarati helps in facilitating and optimizing the relationship between people and public institutions, especially when it comes to accessing government services. Let's go to Ahmed Zoghlami, the CEO of Idarati, to find out more.
Today, we are disrupting a 1,000-year-old industry, bureaucracy. Different users have different needs, but bureaucracy's tedious nature affects them all. Lengthy procedures, paperwork, and overwhelmed public servants. Hundreds of thousands of people interact with more than 5,000 public institutions every day. And we found transparency to be a great way to reduce friction up to 4 times. We use automated AI-powered workflows to acquire, process, and share millions of information on our platform, idarati.tn. The platform grew organically to reach more than 2 million users that used it at least once in the past 18 months. We have adopted a business model where 20% of our users, aka businesses, pay for our services, allowing the remaining 80% to continue using Idarati for free. In the next phase, we aim to improve institutional processes and establish seamless communication between citizens and public institutions. For this, we need $200K to enhance our no-code tools and expand the automation of institutional processes. Join us in shaping the future of public services design with Idarati.
Can you quickly explain to me just what you mentioned about your users, where you've had 2 million users in the last 18 months?
Yes.
And the revenue split, how that works between free and paid?
Actually, the platform, the users today reach out to Idarati through various channels. We have social media, search engine like Google, etc. And these people get to know public services procedures through Idarati. And we are now experimenting a new way to acquire and to capture value from the value we are creating every day. So we are experimenting a freemium model where some businesses pay for certain information to access to certain information. The main difference between both worlds that we have like citizens that use that have like four interactions a month with public institutions, while businesses have like more 10 interactions. So we figured that they have more pains and more struggle with the public institutions, and they are ready to pay for certain information.
Can you tell us more about the team and in particular the expertise required on checking how the classification might make sense? It seems a bit ambitious to rely too much on AI when nuances are the core of what you're trying to address.
Yeah, actually, we have a balanced team, balance the two sides of the equation. On one side, it's quite expensive to have a top-notch team, and the other side, having a small, efficient team that is well coached. So we have 4 permanent people, 4 permanent team members. That are working on daily operations, and we have a ring of 10 experts, each one in its fields, like in cybersecurity, design, data sciences, etc. And we use this expertise to mentor our team and produce quick prototypes that we can test right away on with the citizen. Actually, we believe in design thinking and human-centered design. It's important for us to generate a product as fast as possible, so we can get feedback and together with the team improve it. And every member of the team is involved in this process. And all the consultant and the experts are here to give their expertise. First of all, because it's one of the main mission, but also mentor the rest of the team also.
In Tunisia, many people also interact with their municipalities in order to access services. For example, to get permits. Al-Baladiya's interactive platform facilitates the relationship between people and their municipalities. Here is Ahmed Kolsi telling us more.
A very disliked sentence in Tunisia, and if you're wondering, it means come back tomorrow. And it is an annoying lullaby that you would almost always hear whenever you go to a Tunisian public institution. Hi, my name is Ahmed, and today I'll be presenting the digital earmuffs that broadcasts at Lullaby, Al-Badia. Al-Badia is a web mobile platform that enables structured communication between citizens and municipalities, with its 5 administrative and 5 participative services, ranging from submitting local complaints to tracking permits to treating access to information requests. Al-Badia establishes itself as the tool for decision-making in municipalities. Currently, we have 120 municipalities on board and over 28,000 users in the platform. This product is provided free of charge to municipalities, an approach that was very welcomed, especially since the public sector is economically impaired. We are looking for ways to develop a premium version with the help of our partner municipalities. And by the end of 2023, we hope to get to 160 municipalities and 50,000 users on the platform. And if you think we can collaborate to achieve that, please reach out.
Does your platform link in with the municipality's platform, whichever platform they use? And it's an app base where normal citizens can contact government about public services.
Currently, the municipalities don't really have like one unified platform. So every municipality have their some of them have their website. Some others they just use their like the usual tools like Excel, Word, stuff like that. So they aren't very keen on working on digitized services. They are mostly using paper and.
You mentioned that you're targeting 50,000 users by end of 2023, which I believe is end of this year.
Yes.
How many users do you have now?
Currently, we have 28,000 users. So we are looking to double the user base.
Okay, so that is from the 120 municipalities.
Yes.
You're probably familiar with the current economic situation in Lebanon. In the last 2 years, entrepreneurship has really experienced a hit. But Lebanon has some of the most talented, multilingual, and courageous young people who have not been discouraged by the difficulties, but have taken steps to do what they can to go beyond rebuilding. Our next founder, Pascal Dahrouj, is one of those people. She started HiiL Minds during the COVID pandemic in 2020. In Lebanon, many people seek justice in courts. Alternative dispute resolution isn't the preferred route to get justice. According to HiiL's Justice and Satisfaction Survey in Lebanon from 2017, 56% of people experience legal problems in the country. 71% took some action to resolve it, but only 40% partially or completely resolved the issue. HiiL Minds' online dispute resolution is transforming the way disputes are resolved in Lebanon. Here is Pascal telling us about how her solution closes the justice gap in Lebanon.
Let's face it, conflict can be a real nightmare. They are complicated to navigate, extremely pricey to solve through litigation, and by the time you find a solution, you would have lost time, money, energy, caused unnecessary damages and enemies. Thus, the quality of our life depends much on how we respond to conflict. Now listen in. These conflicts cannot survive without your participation. So yes, you can prevent them and you can solve them through alternative avenues. The answer is HiiL Minds. We protect and empower individual, government, businesses through consulting and dispute resolution services. We have developed innovative normal track and online fast track schemes of mediation and arbitration, among others. Our flagship technology solution, HiiL Minds Resolves, allow all stakeholders in a conflict to file, process, and track the disputed case until settlement using one of these tracks. It is that simple. We are in a high market demand, and our obtainable share as a start is estimated at 6 million people between resident and Lebanese diaspora having businesses in Lebanon, to then expand our market in the MENA region. Our solution have met our client need with an 86% success rate. We are currently fundraising €1 million to elaborate new tools to expand our operation in Lebanon and the MENA region, to develop our new project, HiiL Minds Chamber, and enhance our impact through loyalty program and pro bono cases. We are a team of 5 people with the will, the mind, the passion, and the skills, and we are dedicated to empowering you. Visit willmind.com.
Explain, you say it is between business and government. So is it a platform for citizens that have disputes with businesses and government? Or who are the parties to these disputes?
Okay, so we serve individual businesses and government. It could be dispute between businesses, between government and businesses, or even between individuals.
You mentioned that conflict management is actually pretty complicated, which is correct. And the bulk of the work, or maybe whether it is before or after, but it's about understanding the context of the conflict. So the causes of the conflict, the actors involved in terms of, who are those people who are involved in this conflict, the dynamics of the conflict, and all the various biases that come with that. So what aspect of that do you actually deal with when you say that all parties come on board? And so are you able to break it down for me? I just need to understand what exactly do.
Yes. Okay, so basically at WillMind, in my pitch, I focused on our flagship technology solution, WillMind Resolve. But at WillMind, we deal with 7 categories. We have the Resolve, which is resolving the conflicts via mediation, and we innovated the process of that. Then we have the prevention or the protection. We have the WillMind Protect, which is how you could, especially for businesses, you could put measure in place or create mediation unit within corporation to prevent future conflicts. We have also the negotiate, the dialogue. We have 7 categories. Each one deals with a specific part of the conflict. We have also the coaching, where it's a one-to-one with individual coaching on how they can deal themselves with the conflict. So basically, we cover all steps, or if I may say, not steps, or all layers of a conflict, from before it is creating on how to protect and prevent it, to then solve it when it occurs and monitor its resolution.
What do you need apart from money?
Well, definitely more human resources. This is for sure. More experts, more people in the team, people working on the expansion in other markets, people working on the development of the project. As I said, WillMind Chamber. So definitely human resources and definitely partnership. Our next step would be to focus on building partnership.
And we wrap it up for Tunisia and Lebanon and move next to Nigeria. Let's go to Kelechi Achinunu, the head of HiiL's Innovation Hub in Lagos.
Since 2011, we have supported over 100 justice entrepreneurs at the different levels of our programs: ideation, incubation, and acceleration. Some of these startups have expanded from Nigeria to Africa and beyond. Last year, we supported over 30 startups through our different programs. We encourage any justice entrepreneur who is constantly looking for ways to make justice effective and accessible, solving or is interested in solving for problems that touch on land, tenancy, employment, crime, money, fraud, gender-based violence, to apply to any of our programs as we kick off activities for 2023. For more information, you can contact us on justinnovatewa@hiil.org.
2022 was a remarkable year for the Nigerian startup ecosystem. A lot of people worked very hard for a long time to pass the startup bill, and it finally happened in October 22. The bill has the potential to greatly strengthen the Nigerian ecosystem. While Nigeria has the most thriving ecosystem and, of course, market, with a population of 200 million, there's more that needs to be done in terms of building an enabling environment for startups and small business owners. Many businesses in Nigeria struggle with navigating the regulations, understanding what they need to do with the long list of taxes they have to pay and how to stay compliant. Sometimes, without their knowledge, startups commit violations that end in heavy fines and shutting down of the business altogether. Here we have SideBrief that addresses this very issue in Nigeria and other African countries, from registration to compliance and more. Here is Abdul Wahid Yusuf, the COO of SideBrief, to tell you more about how they address this pain point experienced by many startups and SMEs in Africa and beyond.
The average entrepreneur looking to start business in Africa doesn't have the expertise needed to navigate the legal and regulatory compliance orders required to formalize and run their business. SideBrief is a Texas-backed company that automates and simplifies compliance for small and medium businesses. We are building the tools and aggregating the data needed by the entrepreneurs to set up, manage, and track compliance locally and across the continent from a single dashboard. By using SideBrief, millions of entrepreneurs can save on time, cost, and human resources previously devoted to manual business registrations, filing taxes, obtaining and managing business licenses. To this end, the products we have built include Launch for business registrations, Comply for managing business compliance, and TaxB for tax management. Since launching our MVP in Q4 2021, SideBrief has been used by over 3,000 businesses across 15 African countries, generating a revenue of $420,000 as at December 2022. We have 3 co-founders with complementary and diverse backgrounds in law, technology, finance, and taxes. We are fundraising $500,000 to acquire our next 100,000 businesses in the 4 key African markets of Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, and Egypt. The funds will be used to improve our technology platform, hire individuals with specialized skill sets, and for marketing and distribution. Thank you.
Could you tell us, give us a flavor of your team and your experience, and where do you get inspiration from to do all of this stuff?
Yeah, so my experience is in finance and taxes. Before starting SideBrief, I was a consultant for startups in Nigeria. I had done taxes and accounting services for several startups in Nigeria. Usman is our CTO, who's been in tech for 10 years. Eunice is the CEO. Her background is in law. She's done some work for KPMG. She's done some work for World Bank as well.
How many customers do you have?
Right now, since launching our MVP, we've done business for over 3,000 customers. So of those customers, about 25% of them have been cross-border. So it has been taking a Nigerian to Kenya, taking a Kenyan to Tanzania, or taking a Tanzanian to Uganda, for instance. But also, a lot of 75% has been registering in the local market for locals as well.
According to the HiiL Justice and Satisfaction Survey in Nigeria from 2015, 73% of people experience legal problems. 71% took some action to resolve it, and 61% partially or completely resolved their issues. Money issues are in the top 3 most serious justice problems in Nigeria. Money issues are justice issues that arise when making payments, saving, and lending. Crediometer is tackling this issue. Moreover, Crediometer is an example of a startup outside of Lagos. When people talk about Nigeria, they're often talking about opportunities in Lagos. But we need to go beyond Lagos, to Abuja, to Ibadan, and to Ondo State, where Rashid Raji, the CTO of Crediometer, is based. Here he is.
2 hours ago, I boarded a cab to Ojaoba. I realized I left my wallet at home. I asked the driver, "What form of digital payment do you accept?" He responded, "I accept no form of digital payment." Over 41.5 million SMEs in Nigeria are exactly like this driver, still struggling to accept digital payments, thereby losing trillions of dollars yearly. We at Crediometer, we have built a secure and easy-to-use payment solution. To accept payments, all you have to do is tap your card on the credit reader, enter the amount, and enter the PIN. In 2022, we did close to $1 million in transaction value from an average of 1,200 business owners alone. Currently, we are raising $350,000 to expand to neighboring states and to meet increasing customer demands. My name is Rashid Raji, CTO at Credometer. With a team of 8 and over 25 years combined experience, together, we are driving financial inclusion to the last mile. Thank you.
I'm trying to get a sense of what's the makeup of the revenue from what exactly were you is this money that you earned or is this money that you transacted?
Our total transaction.
How much did you earn from that transaction, from the 1 million transactions?
How many did we?
How much did you earn? How much money did you make from it?
Oh, that would be 3.3% of the entire transaction.
So 3%.
30.3, yes. That is approximately $30,000.
Specific dynamic, demographic segment? Is it more for the lower income that have some small transactions with many of them, or do you target all levels of wealth in the country?
I won't really say everybody. We target SMEs. When I mean SMEs, I mean both the local woman in the markets. As long as you transact value, you transact business, you accept payments, so you are in our client base.
Justice problems experienced by consumers when it comes to buying and selling, particularly in the digital space, are amongst the top 10 most serious justice issues in Nigeria. That's according to HiiL's 2015 Justice and Satisfaction Survey. Here we have the CMO of Atarape, Bamidele Obende, talking about how they prevent and solve consumer justice issues.
With over 42,000 cases in 2021, all of them internet fraud-related cases, Nigeria became the largest country in Africa with such issues. Such issues exist because of a lack of trust between the buyers and sellers of products and goods and services. Atarape, an online escrow payment platform, has come into this space to try to eradicate the issue of trust or reduce it to the barest minimum. By using our platform, funds will be warehoused on that platform, and buyers will only release the funds when the buyers have confirmed that what I ordered is what was delivered. Atarape was formed in 2018, and in 2020 we went live with our beta product. As of December 2022, we've been able to generate revenues of $115,000. We're seeking to raise $200,000 for a 12% stake in our company. We're a 5-member team and we have a minimum of 20 years experience each. Our experience range from information technology to electronic payments to social media to B2B businesses to B2C businesses to retail to e-commerce. We believe with our experience we'll be able to deliver this product and people will have peace of mind using this product. We have people that have used this product in different sectors of the economy, but one particular sector that we've identified is the short-term led service sector. People have actually approached us and they've embraced this platform and they have peace of mind using this platform. Come use Atarape and you will be okay. Thank you.
You are new to market and I understand you are developing the market. Are there any other competitors that you have identified?
Okay, so yes, what we've tried to do is also to benchmark our business with global competitors and also local competitors. Okay, for Nigeria, our main competitor, which we've also identified, is PayScrew. Now, PayScrew and another one as well is Lock My Cash. There are similarities, but also differences between our products. But all of us are playing in the escrow space. That is really important for everybody to see. Also, what has happened as well is that the challenges that we have in terms of educating the market, for the market to also embrace escrow, is also the challenge they are also faced with. So it's a challenge that cuts across everybody in that space. And we are trying as much as possible to overcome that challenge. But yes, we have competition locally. We also have competition globally as well.
Give us a flavor for the socioeconomic segments that your client base mainly they mainly target?
Okay, so when you say socioeconomic, our customer base cuts across from upwardly mobile young professionals, upwardly mobile people that are able to use a mobile phone or a laptop or a mobile device to carry out transactions. Because like we said, we have our platform, which it's up there on the internet. You can also download the app to carry out the transactions as well. Also, we have people that are also young and upwardly mobile that will also want to carry out transactions that are offline, and those are P2P customers as well. So they can also come and carry out the transaction. So our actual target is actually for upwardly young mobile people.
And with that, we wrap up the pitches. Before we go to the announcement of the winners of the 2023 Innovating Justice Award, I want to tell you about our scaling program. In 2022, we launched the scaling program for ready-to-scale startups. These startups already achieved product and market fit for their first product and market and are now ready to internationalize and dive into new markets. It's a bespoke program where the startups get support from a leadership coach, a venture partner, and a coach who guides them during their sprints. We run this program with our partner, Growth Africa, one of the most recognizable names when it comes to accelerating startups in Africa. We now have 4 startups in the program. One of them is almost finished with the program, and it is iverify.ng, a verification platform from Nigeria. I invite you to hear from Zita Agunobi, the founder and CEO of iVerify.ng, and Martin Kilu, Growth Africa's acting head of advisory.
iVerify.ng in Nigeria, information about people were either locked up in silos or completely undocumented. And this impeded access to basic amenities like jobs, basic amenities like housing, financial services. For everyday people, you needed to be verified to be able to gain access to these amenities. And so that's what iVerify set out to sort of solve. As a digital identity onboarding platform that enables businesses, enables users to access verified data about anybody, verify documents, verify identity, to be able to give them access to the opportunities that they seek. The scaling program at HiiL has been a transformative one for us at iVerify. It's really transformed our business exponentially. We have invested the past few months, about 7 to 8 months, redefining our operations, collaborating as a team, coming together as a team to work on our go-to-market strategies, to evaluate the business processes, and design our process flow map. We were held accountable by the partner organization working with us, Growth Africa, to sort of, design our process flow mapping, give critical thinking to our processes, and then bring out an output to say this and this and that are the things that goes on in the business. We have received access to world-class leadership and venture coaches who hold us accountable as leaders to ourselves, to the people that we lead, to the people that we serve, and to the organization as a whole. What is the biggest lesson we have learned from the HiiL scaling program? Growth comes by willingness. My willingness to invest in the process is a very long and tedious process with a lot of expectations, but really true skill comes by my disposition to yield and commit to that process. And so my message to anybody who is considering participating in the Scale Up program is that you have to come open, very open, you have to come transparent, you have to come disposed to the outcome of the process. Sometimes the outcomes can be very interesting and sometimes they can be very disappointing. But whatever it is, be disposed to it, commit to the outcome of that process. And that in itself is scale. Thank you.
My name is Martin Kilu. I'm the head of advisory at Growth Africa, partner and implementer of the HiiL scaling program. We are a not-for-profit foundation founded in 2002 headquartered in Kenya, with a presence in 5 other African countries where we have offices, but additionally supporting 10 other countries across the world through our acceleration services, strategic advice, and access to investments that we provide ambitious and scalable ventures. In the HiiL Scaling Program, we're helping develop a fundable pipeline of 6 Justice Accelerator portfolio companies, enabling them to become investor-ready, putting them in a position to raise competitive capital onto Series A or above. Through the program, we seek to support ventures grow their functional areas, the fundamentals of their business, through leadership coaching and an investment-friendly governance structure. We look forward to accepting and having more companies go through the scaling program, where we'll help you build your business, looking at your corporate governance, your business fundamentals, and your route to market. We encourage you to participate in the accelerator and the scaling program, because we look forward to helping grow scalable ventures that are able to create the social impact that we desire in the world, creating the access to justice that underpins the program. Thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you in the scaling program.
If you have a full pipeline at HiiL, from ideation to scaling, the end of the pipeline is the Innovating Justice Fund. The fund invests in both seed and early stage startups. Joining for a few words is Samira Saidi, the investor advisor at Fount. Fount is the fund manager of the Innovating Justice Fund.
Hello, I am Samira Saidi, an investment advisor at Fount. Fount is an impact investment firm based in the Netherlands that provides strategic advisory and investment management services to drive social and environmental impact. We are happy and excited to be part of the HiiL Demo Day, excited to be part of the stakeholders in the ecosystem and to learn all about the innovative justice solutions developed by participants represented here. As you're all aware, across the globe, and especially in emerging economies, access to equitable justice remains a key challenge. And several enterprises like yours seeking to bridge this gap by providing solutions that resolve and prevent injustice. For instance, we've seen innovations in legal technology that provide access to online arbitration, access to legal advice and documentation in a quick and affordable manner to individuals and SMEs. We've also seen some companies develop solutions that provide access to social welfare benefits, others that prevent fraud through providing identification and verification to those seeking employment and housing. For most of these enterprises, as with most startups, access to funding is the key challenge. However, more specifically to companies operating within this justice space, setting up a sustainable and financially viable business model that is impactful is an additional hurdle to overcome. And that is why HiiL and Fount have partnered to set up the Innovative Justice Fund, which is an initiative that seeks to finance and support the growth of seed and early stage enterprises in emerging markets that have game-changing models for social justice and provide innovative solutions for people-centered justice towards individuals, households, micro and small medium-sized enterprises. The fund, once established, will support these enterprises in their growth path and further development of their business model by providing tailor-made management, technical and network support, and making these entities investment ready to follow on investments and provide linkages to potential investors. The fund will be deployed in local currency through a repayable financial instrument over a tenure of about 7 years. And this is so that we can accommodate the longer lead time to the next funding round or available cash flows because of the relatively early stage of companies operating within this space. Companies like yourselves are redefining access to justice. And we're excited to be part of this movement that will see enterprises in justice field scale and reach the underserved in all our communities. On behalf of the team at Fount, thank you all.
Today, as we close the cycle, we open our call for applications for the next one. The applications are now open and will remain open until the end of March. So, to those of you who are thinking about joining our program and being at the Demo Day next year, I invite you to visit our website and get started with our application right away. Please reach out to me if you have any questions about the application or our program. My email is right here on the screen, also in the chat box on YouTube. And finally, this is the moment that we've all been waiting for. Who are the winners? On behalf of the jury, Duncan is here to announce the winners. Duncan. Duncan, what can you tell us about the third place winner and who is a third place winner?
The third place winner is an exciting innovator. They are improving justice access by offering cheaper, faster alternative to traditional court system in Rwanda. And the third place winner is e-arbitrator. E-arbitrator.
Do you have anything to say? Maybe a quick reaction for us?
Sure. I'm really honored, and I'm really honored, and I want to thank HiiL, and I also want to thank my fellow cohort. It was a really inspiring class. It was a really inspiring group of people, and I really appreciate the time that we all spent together. Thank you.
All right. One down, two to go. Now, Duncan.
Yes.
Tell us about the second place winner.
The second place winner, they provide access to justice seekers in a region where it's a complex legal structure, complex social structure, but they provide accelerated fast-track arbitration and mediation services in Lebanon. And they are HiiL Minds.
Thank you. I want to thank everyone, and especially HiiL. Really thank you for this program. And thank you for giving us the chance, with everything going on in Lebanon and the difficulty going on, there's a glimpse of hope. So to keep going, because we still believe that we can make a difference. So really thank you for giving us this chance. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. First place, Duncan, tell us.
Where are the drum rolls? First place.
Drum roll!
Excellent, well done. Now, the first place is this wonderful change maker, shining a light on the most vulnerable and the most invisible, working or workers in this region that we're in by vetting, training domestic workers and connecting them with their employers. Please, let's put our hands together and shout for Mama Fua. Well done.
Well done.
What's your quick reaction?
Whoa, it's an honor to actually be in this position and to actually like take this, and I don't think this is just for us who've tirelessly worked to actually like make that the Mama Fua and even the domestic workspace a better space both for the consumers and the suppliers. I want to thank HiiL. I want to thank my fellow cohort members who throughout this program we have reached out to in times when we needed help, like Nelson. I called you more than anyone. Bramwell, I called you more than anyone, but what HiiL has provided us with is a community. One of the things that I might actually like have to mention is that Nelson came through for us at a time when we actually like needed legal help the most, and so you've actually connected us to each other, people who live in the same country, but the kind of people who didn't know each other and how best they could actually help each other. I am so very grateful to HiiL for having been the mediator and the connector, and even creating a bigger justice, like a justice generating machine that is everyone that's within this room. I'm grateful to everyone. I'm grateful to my team, Eric, who's here, with whom we have pushed and pushed beyond what he could. Eric, sorry. Sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
So, Eric, and my other co-founders like Yai and everyone else have been the people who've seen the struggle. Like we've gone through with training the Mama Fuas, with verifying them, and with the tech beat that we continuously have to develop to actually fit the needs of the housekeepers. We have loved the journey, and it's good enough that this is actually something that puts finally the stamp on what we are doing, that it's actually a credible path, that is something that can work for the many women out there that so very much crave a better service and even a better platform and better accessibility to these jobs. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank everyone, all of our founders, all of my colleagues who put this event together. Come, please join me. I want to show the faces behind this event. And it has been an absolute pleasure to share this moment with you. I am grateful for your time, for your attention, and I look forward to seeing you on February 14, 2024. Mark it on your calendars. I want to see you next year. Thank you so much.